Here I go, here I go, here I go. Yeah, here I go, here I go.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of The Take. I'm your host, Jackson Burleson, of course. And in today's episode, we've got Olympic basketball, July 28th. That starts, and also just the Olympics in general starts this week. Get your calendar set. Paris 2024. Now, this is the third time the Olympics are in Paris. The last time was exactly 100 years ago in 1924, which was the last time they hosted, and 32 sports will be going on during the Olympics. You've got swimming, basketball, gymnastics, water polo, diving, you name it, this Olympics has it. And let's just say this. The one storyline I'm going to be really paying attention to going into these Olympics specifically is Simone Biles. Like, I know Simone Biles had that mental block in 2020 for Tokyo. I watched her Netflix documentary last night, which is fantastic. Please go watch it if you haven't. But that is a story of an athlete who has so much pressure to be the winner. And it's just crazy how much smack they talked about her, how great she is at 26 years old, and how she can just be torn down like that by the media and by people who do not even know her. So I think it's crazy. I am super excited to actually watch gymnastics and Simone Biles, because what she is doing in the air is just remarkable. Like, she is literally creating own tricks. The Biles 2, the Biles 1, like, are you kidding me? That's how dominant she is in her sport. Like, that's insane. So we have to acknowledge and appreciate this greatness that we are witnessing right now. This cannot be overstated. Simone Biles, gold medal this year. I'm calling it. She's going to get her redemption from 2020 in Tokyo. It's a wrap, folks, okay? You woke up a poking bear. You poked the bear, okay? And you did not want to do that. So that is strikes 1, 2, and 3 right there with Simone Biles, because she's going to come back better than ever. She already won the 2023 all world championships, so she's carrying that momentum into the Olympics, which I'm excited about. For Team USA men's basketball, I don't really know what to expect for the Olympics, okay? Because let's just get this straight. I don't like how everyone is comparing this 2024 team to the 1992 Dream Team. First of all, before we get into anything else, like, let's just acknowledge the fact that the international game is so much better than 1992. Let me give you this stat. So the 2024 Team USA this year will play against 61 NBA players. You want to know how many NBA players the Dream Team played against in their real run, the gold medal? 9. And in my opinion, if you ask me, when you look on paper, I think the Dream Team is better. But the competition was not. So there's that. You can poke a hole in that argument. Which team do you think is better? I think the Dream Team is, but there is an argument to be had with this team because the competition is tougher. But now, since the competition is tougher, fans like me and other people are like, how are we only beating South Sudan by 1 point? Which, by the way, should never happen. Should never happen. This guy on South Sudan, his name is Mariel Shayak. He had 24 points, 6 to 12 from 3 in 28 minutes. And he literally he's not even an NBA player right now. He's not even an NBA player. So that's not an excuse to let a not NBA player who plays in China drop 6 threes on you. 6 threes. Like, that's unacceptable. And South Sudan shot 47% from the field. 1% better than Team USA in that game. And it took LeBron hitting a game winner for us to win. That cannot happen. And it doesn't make a lot of sense because Australia, we beat by 6. Serbia, we beat by a country mile. We destroyed Serbia. Destroyed. We also handed Canada a pretty big L as well. And in my opinion, I think Serbia and Canada are definitely way better than South Sudan. It just, I don't get it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I guess when it comes to Team USA, as long as LeBron's getting his 20, that's all that matters. I mean, LeBron in that game, he had 23 minutes, 25 points, 10 of 14, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. I mean, we know LeBron James, he is doing something at 40 years old that no player in NBA history has done, which is lead an Olympic team to the promised land and be the best player on the Olympic team. At his age, that's never happened. And they had another close game the other day. It was against Germany, where they only won by 4 points. 4 points. Now, I will give credit. Franz Wagner had 18 points, 3 steals, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. That dude is a bucket. He just signed a $224 million extension with the Magic, had a great third season in the NBA, so I'm not taking away from that. Dennis Schroeder is a good player. Also, Daniel Tice, he's on that team as well. And then Mo Wagner. So you got both of the Wagner brothers. But this Team USA team is just too good to be in this many close games. You've got LeBron, Curry, AD, Embiid, Tatum, Derek White, Drew Holiday, Anthony Edwards. Like, dude, I don't even need to keep naming. Like, it's just unfair. Kevin Durant, when healthy, which we will get back into Kevin Durant in a little bit. But this team in group play will play Serbia, Puerto Rico, and South Sudan. So they already beat Serbia 105-79. They held Nikola Jokic to 6 of 19 shooting, 16 points, and Anthony Davis had 6 blocks in that game. So we can be dominant when we want to. And I think against Jokic specifically, since AD and LeBron are so tired of losing to that guy, they just said, okay, we cannot lose to this dude again. We just have to destroy him. We have to destroy him. So it'll be interesting because also Puerto Rico did beat Team USA in 2004. That was exactly 20 years ago. And we're the second team ever to beat the U.S. and the first letting NBA players play in the Olympics. So that's not good. They're in our group stage. Now, I think we're going to beat them, but my buddy Gabe, he's from Puerto Rico, keeps saying, oh, we're going to beat Team USA in basketball. You know, it was exactly 20 years ago. Oh, man. Like, no, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Like, I see, like, Puerto Rico is so bad, I can't even name one NBA player on that team. Can't even. I'm sure there is one, but I can't even name one. But speaking of Kevin Durant, I know we talked about him for a little bit. He suffered a right calf strain in training camp. He has not played in any of the games for Team USA. And this is the calf strain he had in the 2019 NBA Finals or the 2019 playoffs that he did come back and tear his Achilles with. So, and Steve Kerr being the coach, he knows that. He's going to be cautioned. To me, I think Durant doesn't need to rush back because the Suns need him next season. There's more at stake for Kevin Durant right now than winning a gold medal because he won one last time in Tokyo. He led the team. That happens, okay? Like, he got his gold medal. He led the team. It's LeBron's turn, okay? He's even carrying the flag out for the ceremony. Kevin Durant, I think he needs to get healthy. He needs to stay away from the basketball court. Steve Kerr knows that. You do not want to have this guy have another torn Achilles in your late 30s. You do not want that. So for Kevin Durant, I would say don't rush back. You know, if you can play, play. But if you don't want to play and you don't think it's worth playing, then just don't. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. This Team USA team could use Kevin Durant, but also they don't need Kevin Durant. So it's a toss-up here. Do you play him? Do you not? If he's got that calf strain, he's had problems with it, I would just sit him out. I wouldn't play him. Now, obviously, there's no replacing Kevin Durant. He's one of the greatest scorers in basketball. So you can't replace that. But you got to keep him healthy. You got to keep him healthy. This is not the first time he's had this issue. So I would just keep him off the court for the sake of it. Now let's move on to this week's play of the week. So last week we had some more baseball, and we got some more baseball for you. Eldemaro Vargas pitched for the 4th time in his career last night. He's not a pitcher for the Nationals, just saying. He threw a 51-mile-an-hour pitch and then caught the ball at the mound versus the San Diego Padres. That play was actually sensational. That was a cool play. I saw it on Instagram last night. I did have a different play in here, but I had to throw that in here. But let's just give some context on this guy. So Eldemaro Vargas, before that, he threw a 33-mile-an-hour pitch.
What is that? Super slow one, base hit. I mean, that pitch made Livan Hernandez look like Nolan Ryan. 33 miles an hour. 33?
That is the second slowest pitch in MLB history. History. You want to know who's first? Texas Rangers' Brock Holt. He still holds the record for the slowest pitch thrown in MLB history at 31 miles an hour in 2022. Like, that is sad, okay? How do you throw a baseball that slow, okay? But the Nationals, the only reason Vargas was in there pitching was because the Nationals ran out of pitchers. They had 5 guys play prior to putting him in, and they lost 12-3. Okay, the Padres. Oh, God. The Padres had 20 hits. 20! 20 hits. Sad, okay? Sad. But I still think that 51-mile-an-hour pitch and then him catching it at the pitcher's mound, that's a good play. If I had to rate that play on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a solid 8.5 because 1, he's not a pitcher, and 2, he made a miraculous catch because we all know if he doesn't catch that ball, he could possibly get hit in the baseball in the head, and we don't want to see that. But Vargas, that was his only inning pitched, was the 9th. He allowed 2 hits, had the best performance out of all the 6 national pitchers that were on the mound that night. So that is embarrassing, okay? The Nationals, they're not a horrible team. I mean, they're 8 games under 500. They're 4th in the NL East, or the National League East. But it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Vargas is batting .265 in 66 games this season with 1 homer and 22 RBIs. And he made his 4th appearance as a pitcher in his career. Okay, so that's embarrassing, first of all. Now let's move on to, this happened a little bit ago, Team USA versus Team WNBA. The WNBA All-Star Game. This was a great showing for the WNBA. 3.44 million viewers watched the WNBA All-Star Game, which is the 3rd most watched event in league history. So that's really good. So to just give perspective from last year's game, 850,000 people watched last year's game. 3.4 million watched this year. So the game is growing a lot, especially with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark constantly butting heads with this rivalry. I mean, Caitlin Clark didn't have the best showing in this game. She only had 4 points, but she had 10 assists, which, remember, about a week ago, she set the WNBA record for 19 assists in a game. So she is impressive. I don't care if she's not scoring or not. She is must-see TV because she just makes her teammates better. She knows how to pass the rock. It's just, I don't know. From that game, because the Team WNBA won. So Team USA is going to the Olympics losing to the WNBA All-Star team. And also, the Team WNBA had this girl on the Stars, or the Wings, excuse me, or Ikere Nkumble. Sorry if I just completely butchered that. I apologize. But she had 34 points, the most points in a WNBA All-Star game ever. So that's part of the reason why they won. But Caitlin Clark was 0 for 7 from 3, but she still found a way to make an impact on the game without her scoring. She had 10 assists. So I really do like Caitlin Clark. I think she should have been on Team USA because she makes her teammates better. She is fun to play with. She's very fun to play with. Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, those two players are benefiting off of her passing ability. But Team USA for the women's side, I mean, they still have a pretty good team. I mean, they got Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi, Brianna Stewart, who had 31 and 10 in the U.S. All-Star game. Sabrina Ionescu's in there, Kelsey Plum, Asia Wilson, who should be unanimous MVP for the WNBA this year. So there's a lot of players that are good on this team. But the women's team is set to face Japan July 29th to start the Olympics in Paris. And also, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, Team USA's first game is against Serbia July 28th at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time on NBC. So if you want to watch Team USA basketball, that's where you go. That's when it's happening. Let's move on to the Cubs and Dodgers in Tokyo for 2025 to start the regular season was announced. This is the first time since 2019 an MLB regular season game is in Japan. 2019 was the Oakland A's versus Seattle Mariners. This will also be the 25th anniversary of the first regular season game being held in Japan when the Chicago Cubs faced off against the New York Mets at the Tokyo Dome March 29th to 30th in 2000. So the details on this game, or this two-game series, it will be at the Tokyo Dome in Japan. Shoto Imanaga versus Shohei Ohtani, two Japanese-born players. Shoto Imanaga, 2.86 ERA, 10th in the MLB, has had a fabulous first season with the Chicago Cubs. Shohei Ohtani, he is batting .314 this year, which is spectacular. Spectacular. Okay, that's fourth in the Major League Baseball with 73 RBIs, and he's also second in home runs with 30. So this is going to be a star-studded matchup, especially for my Cubs. I'm happy to see them in this game. But as of recently, the Cubs have been just struggling, man. Like I'm looking to this game for next season because I'm just so sick of watching my team this year. I mean, the Cubs are fifth in the National League Central at 49-55. We're 11 games back of first place against the Brewers. We just lost that 3-game series to the Brewers. We lost yesterday. I mean, this can't happen. Like, we had 21 hits in 3 games against the Brewers, but we only had 3 runs. How does that happen? I don't get that. That just should not happen. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. This Cubs team needs to get it together, man. They need to get it together. And Bellinger's still out. I don't even know what we're doing. I feel like we're either going to do nothing at the trade line, I feel like we're going to do nothing at the trade deadline, or we're going to trade somebody, which Bellinger could be in that conversation. I hate saying it, but he really could be in that conversation. So Cubs versus Dodgers, Tokyo 2025, March 18th through March 19th, 2025. Get your tickets, 2-game series. I don't know if I'm going to be going. So I hope I am, because I've never been to Japan, but I would love to go to Japan and see my Cubs get the dub over the Dodgers. Now let's move on to JB's picks, courtesy of Hard Rock Bets, the only betting app you can actually use in the state of Florida. So let's get into my picks. So my picks for this week are -500 for Team USA basketball to win the gold medal. Team USA has not lost since 2020 against France, which was the first game of the group stage, but ended up winning gold anyways, led by Kevin Durant. So we have a rich history of winning. We have 16 gold medals. This team right now has 11 combined Olympic appearances and 10 gold medals on the roster. And also, just to throw this in here, there are 12 NBA All-Stars, 4 NBA MVPs, and 6 NBA champions going to Paris on this Team USA. So if you want to make an argument, if you want to make a case for Dream Team to be better than this team, that's very understandable, because they have the accolades and the good amount of players to run with this team. But Steve Kerr also has not won a gold medal as the head coach of Team USA, and Steph Curry has not won a gold medal as an Olympian. So Steph Curry needs one more thing to just cement his legacy even more. Finals MVP, now gold medal. He's a 4-time champion. He's the three-point king. Steve Kerr, same thing. He's been a champion as a player, a champion as a coach, and now he's going to be an Olympic gold medalist as a coach. So well-rounding his career as well. So I'm going minus 500 for Team USA to get gold. Now, there are other teams on there like Serbia, France. France apparently lost 4 games in a row before the group stage, so I don't know how they're really looking right now. Australia, they're in there, of course. Spain, they're in there. I think the only team that can really beat Team USA is Canada, but we'll see. There's a lot of teams that can, contest. This international play is the best it's ever been in basketball history. I just want you guys to understand that. Like, there's an NBA player on every single team, just about. Even South Sudan, their NBA player didn't go off, but Wenyen Gabriel is in the NBA, so they have an NBA player, which wasn't the case when the Dream Team was playing in 1992. So just throwing that out there. Now, last thing we're going to talk about. It's been a while since I've talked about my Dallas Cowboys on this podcast. It really has. But Ceedee Lamb is not reporting to training camp. He's entering the final year of his contract. He's scheduled to make $17.9 million this year. And I'm a little concerned. Because I think Ceedee, he's going to be waiting for this Justin Jefferson money. He wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. But the problem is, so does Micah Parsons. And then, on top of that, people on ESPN are saying Dak Prescott could be the first player to make $60 million per season. If that happens, I am just completely gonna lose my mind. You're telling me right now a player with 2 playoff wins is worth $60 million per season. What planet are you on if you actually think that is a good idea? That is not the cure to our problems. That's not the cure. And then I also just saw, so Wayne Vander Esch, he retired, right? Michael Gallup requested a trade. We released him. Okay, what is going on? He gets picked up by the Raiders, and then he retires. So basically, the Cowboys have had 2 players retire due to injury this year. I mean, I'm not happy. Zeke is our running back. Okay. Brandon Cooks is still there. I do like him. Jake Ferguson, I do like him. But our offensive line, we lost Tyron Smith and Tyler DeBazier. 2 very crucial pieces to our offensive line. And you're telling me right now that the Dallas Cowboys are going to do better with a weaker offensive line? I don't know what to say to you, because Dak Prescott has had a great offensive line every single year, and he can't win the Super Bowl. So it doesn't matter what kind of team he has. It does not matter. So I don't care what happens. This season, people are probably wondering, am I watching the Cowboys or am I not? I'm not. I'm not watching the Cowboys. I don't care what anybody says. You're capping, you're lying, you're going to be watching them by week 2. Not happening. Not happening. I don't want to get emotionally invested into a team that I already know is going to break my heart. I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm going to try to enjoy this season as an NFL fan. But as a Cowboys fan, and for my mental health, I cannot be angry with the Cowboys or be angry with Dak Prescott or be angry that Ceedee Lamb is not reporting to training camp. Because it is a bummer. Because Ceedee Lamb is coming off the best season of his career. Lamb had the most receiving yards and catches in a single season in Cowboys history. So that is the problem. He had such a good year, and now we got to pay him. But finish your contract. Like, I don't get it. Why do these players sign 4-year deals, and then at the 4th year of their contract, they don't show up because they don't want to play? I don't get it. You're still making $17 million, which is way more than the average human being in America. So why are you complaining? I don't understand it. This holding out thing for NFL players never works out. It never does. Like, I don't know why these players keep doing this. You signed on the dotted lines to play this X amount of time. Not 3 years, not 2 years, not 1 year. 4 years. 4 years, not 3 years, for 4 years. You signed up for 4 years, not 3 years. I don't get it. It's stupid. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Please, someone tell me why these players keep holding out. Just play. Earn your money. It's not just going to be given to you. You got to earn it. You got to earn it. You have to. I don't get it. But I'm not watching the Cowboys next year. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't. And the Heat, by the way, before we end the pod, Summer League champs, Josh Christopher, Summer League MVP. I'm telling you right now, we're going to resurrect Josh Christopher's career. Great player in high school, was supposed to be good at Arizona State, literally took James Harden's number. That's how good he was. Okay? Let's just understand that. And this is the future of the Miami Heat. And people are sleeping on the Miami Heat for the next NBA season, but I'm not, okay? But this is probably going to be the last time I talk basketball for a little bit. I might talk about it if the USA does not win a gold medal. But everybody, enjoy the Olympics. When I get back from the pod in August, mid-August, we're going to be talking more NFL. I'm going to be going more in depth with the NFL because I know training camp is starting to get going and things like that. Also, I will be doing a podcast with my brother, Auburn Burleson, next week. So keep a lookout for that. I'm going to try to drop it on August 4th. I may push it back a little bit depending on how things go. But just keep an eye on that podcast. But I'm your host, Jackson Burleson. You guys have been listening to another episode of The Take. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me nice. I'm from another world, baby, yeah. Broadway paradise. They think I'm way too cold, cause I put my heart up on ice.